My name's Jenkinson. I'm 16 years old. I'm here to talk about the Free West Papua campaign, how I got involved in it and how young people can really have an impact on the struggle today.
Where is West Papua?
West Papua is just 250 kilometres north of Australia. It's part of the island of New Guinea, and the people there have been living under cruel oppression for over 50 years under Indonesian military rule.
What's going on in West Papua?
So Indonesia invaded in 1962. It had only been independent for just 1 year, and they invaded, and over 500,000 indigenous Papuans have been killed. It's a horrible genocide that's really violently oppressed the people that have been killed, even for raising their national flag.
And what was West Papua like before?
So it was previously a Dutch colony, and they gave them independence in 1961. But and before that, way before that, they lived as small subsistence farmers for 60,000 years, until after they were given independence, the UN completely set them adrift. That was just before the Act of Free Choice.
And what was the Act of Free Choice?
So in 1969, the UN organised that there must be a free and fair referendum on independence, whether all Papuans wanted independence or integration with Indonesia. And instead, a Javanese system, known as Musyawarah, hijacked the vote. Only 1,026 representative Papuans were picked, and they were forced at gunpoint to vote for integration with Indonesia. If they didn't, then them and their families would be killed by the military.
Why does Indonesia continue to occupy West Papua?
New Guinea sits on huge deposits of gold, oil, copper and gas, and Indonesia really benefits actually from exploiting these Papuan resources that really doesn't go to the native population at all. The Indonesian military only gets a third of its funding from the government, and it gets a lot of it from just secret deals with the Freeport mine, which is the biggest gold mine in the world, occupying in West Papua illegally under international law. There's huge reserves of forests and timber, which Indonesia really needs, and lots of because it's Indonesia's biggest province, and Indonesia is a really crowded place, especially in islands like Java and Bali. They've got this system known as transmigrasi, where they just move thousands of people into New Guinea, partly to try and manage the local population. So there's almost more Javanese transmigrants now than local Papuans.
Why don't foreign governments intervene in West Papua?
Unfortunately, foreign governments, especially Western governments, really benefit from exploitation of West Papua. The Grasberg mine, for example, the big mine, is really like all the profits go directly to Indonesia, and some go to which they export to Western governments. A lot of timber which they buy goes to Western governments, and like stuff like that. And they really, it's not in our Western government's best interest to have a free West Papua, because they really benefit with trade deals with Indonesia. David Cameron recently did a trade arms deal with Indonesia where they sold them Hawk jets, which have been devastating the Papuan land. The Indonesian army regularly goes on bombings with them. It's just a big shame. Through arms deals and through gold exports, foreign governments have really been, unfortunately, benefiting from the genocide been going on there.
And how long has this been going on for?
So this has been going on for 50 years. Officially, they started invading when West Papua was independent in 1961. And this has been going on ever since then. They've had no freedom to choose their own self-determination at all.
How did you get involved in the Free West Papua campaign?
I got involved a couple of years ago by the Facebook page for the Free West Papua campaign, and it's really beneficial to my learning about it. Like I didn't really know much about it, but as soon as I heard stuff that was going on Facebook, it really changed my view about it. It's really sort of terrifying in a way how on the other side of the world there's this genocide going on about killing thousands of people, and no one even knows about it. So I started really getting involved through influential figures like Wenda, who I heard about. It's really changed my view about it. And I started lobbying my MP, writing to the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, and asking them to support the campaign. And it's just really, I think the internet really is a powerful message that you can use, a powerful weapon that you can use to spread the word, and that's what I tried to do.
And who's Wenda?
Wenda is the leader of the Free West Papua campaign in the UK. He's an exiled West Papuan tribal leader who was put in prison for 25 years in Indonesia, simply for raising his national flag, for declaring Papuan identity and culture. He managed to escape after being tortured and threatened with death to Papua New Guinea, and then he flew to the UK with his wife and kids and set up the Free West Papua campaign in the UK, which is really, I think, the largest Free West Papua campaign outside of West Papua in the world, which is really gaining support through things like the internet and through support of young people.
Who supports the campaign?
A lot of influential politicians and musicians actually support the campaign. People like Desmond Tutu, Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and a lot of John Pilger, Noam Chomsky, a lot of expert political analysts. In terms of like musicians, there's a lot of Senegalese musicians have come out in support of the campaign. The store Lush Cosmetics is quite an ethical shop. It's really really gone behind the campaign. They've had West Papuan Morning Star flags in the windows and had a lot of support. Political prisoners like Philip Karma, a lot of ethical plans like Amnesty International were really connected to them as well.
Why is this important? Why should I care?
This is really important because at the other side of the world, no one really knows about it at the moment, but it really is happening now. It's genocide. It's over 500,000 people have been killed. That's over 10,000 people a year. It's really, you should really care because young people can really make a difference, and it's up to us really to spread the word out, get the attention of the media. And how would you feel if you were like a West Papuan child or a West Papuan person? They don't have the freedom that we have, the right to self-determination. They don't have it.
And how is this campaign gaining support?
So this campaign is really gaining support, especially quite recently actually. When I first started liking the Facebook page last year, there was only 4,000 likes, and now there's 8,000. It's really liked, especially through the internet, I think. A lot of expert political analysts have said that through the internet, the campaign is really gaining momentum support by lobbying by Facebook and a lot of YouTube and protest organising.
How can young people have an impact and get involved?
Young people can really have an impact because through organisations such as Facebook, Twitter, online, which a lot of young people are using, they can really have an impact on the campaign and the struggle. There's a lot of the Free West Papua campaign is really open organisation that really welcomes the support of young people. There's a lot of protests that you can go on, and just organising the support of your friends and school. My friends have been really supportive in this movement. Like a lot of schools set up and universities set up their own student groups for Freedom for West Papua, which is really helping the cause right now.
Where can I find out about West Papua?
There's loads of information on the web, in books. Like there's just the first site I would point you to is the Free West Papua site, which is freewestpapua.org. Really beneficial, good site, which gives you the lowdown of what's happening. It's the site of the Free West Papua campaign in the UK. It's there at headquarters. The second site which I recommend is Facebook, facebook.com/freewestpapua, which is really influential and useful. The same with the Twitter site, which is the same site. The third site which I would really recommend is West Papua Media Alerts, which it's like an underground organisation in a way. It gives like helps the voices raw. It really sort of spreads the message out of what's happening day to day, and gives day-to-day accounts of really horrible events that need to be stopped.
What can we hope for?
We can really hope for it that in the future, through organisations such as through the internet and through resources, we can really get the attention of the world's media. That's the most crucial step of all. And then we can see throughout the world, like in the Arab Spring and stuff, current political events, as soon as the world's media gets attention, politicians will take notice, and then the UN will take notice. If enough, member states of the UN support West Papuan independence, support Papuan sovereignty, they can force Indonesia to hold a referendum on independence, unlike the 1969 Act of Free Choice, which was a complete sham. And as soon as West Papua becomes independent, they can really have the freedom to sort out their own difficulties by themselves, whereas now they don't have the freedom to do that under Indonesian rule.
What do you think will happen in the future?
I'm very confident in the future. We're gaining slow but very steady support at the moment through many people joining. It's really gaining momentum. A lot of expert political analysts again have said how this in recent years declarations of independence that they regularly make in West Papua, unsuccessful ones. This one could be successful because everyone's really gaining support and really being hopeful, which they couldn't have done 10 years ago without the internet.
Harry, why do you care?
I really care about this. I think it's really important because it might be the other side of the world and it might be not directly affecting us, but indirectly it really is. Indonesia, really, a lot of stuff that we buy comes from Indonesia, comes from West Papua, that we don't often realise. The gold we buy, the copper we buy, really is, it could have the blood of West Papuans on through the Indonesian military. It's affecting everyone, and it'd be a really massive victory for young people, for the internet, for freedom of speech, if we can manage to force Indonesia to hold a free and fair referendum and not let another 500,000 people die.